Hey everyone, it's Jake. Back again. Today we're doing chapter 322 of My Hero Academia. This video is probably going up on Sunday. I might post it tomorrow. We'll see. The reason this didn't go up early today, which is Friday when I'm reading the scans, is because I pretty much had to go to work before the scans even went up. So I'm actually reading this like almost about midnight my time. But I am very excited to see this thing. Now, before I get into it, just full disclaimer. I didn't directly get spoiled to anything. But I did. So here's the thing. TikTok likes to recommend me like a bunch of My Hero shit, and so I saw one panel, and it was very brief, and it wasn't like a big like plot twist type thing, but the panel was of, I'll probably point it out when I get to it, but it looked like Deku kind of talking to the group and Bakugo in front, and it looked like Bakugo, based on the way the panel, like I quick saw it, I'm assuming Bakugo might finally do his apology to Deku based on the way the panel looked. Like I literally saw it for like 2 seconds before I was like, wait a minute, I have never seen this panel, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't. So, just full disclaimer, I do kind of have that in my head already. So if he starts apologizing and stuff, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, this is the moment, because I kind of am already expecting that to happen. Um, but I don't know. I don't know anything else, and I don't know what he says if it is in fact that he's apologizing. So let's just jump into it and see if that is the case. Here we go, chapter 322. Even though I need to let go, his hand reached him. You just see like it's like still, like you see all the water droplets and stuff from the rain. I can't muster the strength. And you see him start tearing up. Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite is the name of the title. So like, is this? So yeah, like I said, I am already having that in my head that he's about to apologize. So is this like him fully coming to, like this is his hero moment? That would be actually. Before I go further, that would be a really cool thing if like, because we have Bakugo Rising, Todoroki Rising, the Rising chapters. What if we get hero name chapters and it's like them fully being like, this is their like hero, like Deku get, you know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe Todoroki, because Shoto's hero name is still just Shoto, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he has a full name. But like imagine if like Momo, I think it was Yaoyorozu Rising was a chapter, right? So what if like we get Creati or something like that? That would be a cool concept. Release. Can I land safely? Oh, Kirishima's like, land on me, Kirishima. so here, and oh, here comes Aoyama. Wow, are you alright? I won't fall over. Oh, he's full on catching them. Holy shit, Kirishima. That's actually pretty impressive. Holy shit. Midoriya, I remembered an old story that was on the news. A kid my age rushed in to save his friend from a villain. That was you, wasn't it? Being a hero has nothing to do with being special or strong. I think that your attitude from back then is the key is the key to all that's happening now. Dude, Ida's suit got fucked up. He needs a new suit. You're here just at the right time, Kirishima. I was ordered to come here by Endeavor. It was completely by coincidence. And here's all the classes getting to him. There's Mina. Okay, I was gonna say Mina and Aoyama and Kirishima didn't actually, even though they appeared last chapter, they still haven't had their Deku moment where they're talking to him. Even with all this stuff about being alone, come back to us. Let's all go back to having class together. Hey, Midoriya-kun. Also, Uraraka hasn't had a moment. I would love to come back, but it's too dangerous. There are a lot of people at UA. I don't want to cause them trouble anymore. Can't go back to how I was before. Okay, here comes Bakugo. His eyes are whited out, Deku's. Do you remember what I told you after Shigaraki stabbed me? I don't remember. Don't even think about winning this alone. Yep. Basically telling him, stop trying to do this on your own. After yelling that out, my body moved on its own and I was impaled, yet I knew that I had to tell you those words. I always looked down on you just because you were quirkless. You were always far away behind me, yet I felt that you were somehow miles ahead of me. Oh, and it's them back being kids again, like the way. I love when he does this, like he did it with Shigaraki and Deku and like the dream space and all this stuff, like when it reverts, or also kind of like somewhat similar with Nina, where he reverted her to like the school uniform and all that. I hated that. I didn't want to feel like that, and I didn't want to recognize that. It's why I grew so distant from you and always try to beat you down. And the whole class is just standing behind him. Now they're in their middle school uniforms. I opposed you and tried to show my superiority over you, but I always lost. After entering UA, and now they're in the UA uniforms. So we're going up, so I'm assuming it's going to end with them in the hero costumes current day. Absolutely nothing went as I thought it would. I spent all my days trying to figure out your strengths and weaknesses. It probably doesn't mean anything telling you all this, but that's what I really think. Izuku. Did he just call him Izuku? He didn't call him Deku, he said Izuku? I'm sorry for everything I've done up until now. Oh. Oh shit. Like even like this, so this is the panel that I saw. This is what I saw. But I didn't see the words or anything. Even though like I said, I was expecting it coming. Holy, oh my god, this is when this happens in the anime, people are gonna get teary eyed. I think like this is fucking hitting. The path you took as a successor of One for All isn't exactly what All Might did. Your choices weren't misguided at all, but as of now, you can barely stand on your own. Your ideals alone can only take you so far. If you ever encounter a road bump, you can always count on us for help. To surpass All Might, your ideal hero, we would all have to protect UA and the civilians in there together. It's the only way. Everyone is all ready. You guys can't keep up. Way ahead of me. You guys can't keep up. I'm sorry for saying such a terrible thing. I know. Did he catch him or did... Okay. I think he stumbled and Bakugo caught him. Okay. I thought for a second that he leaped, but no, he fell over. Now we see Ochako. We've cleared the first hurdle, for now. It will only get more difficult from now on. Yeah. Look, he opened his eyes. Number 13, he woke up. Oh, number 13. Oh. Okay, see, like in my head for some reason I got really confused because they said number 13 and like I wasn't thinking of the hero 13. In my head I was thinking 13th user and I was like, wait, what? And I was okay. Thank God. Can you hear me, Midoriya-kun? Yes. Oh shit, we get to see 13. Oh wow, that's crazy. I never thought we'd actually get to see her. As of right now, most of the civilians are moving to various evacuation centers. The ones remaining outside are anti-hero vigilantes, and an extremist that has become violent alongside the prison escapees. The number of anti-hero civilians entering each evacuation center due to exhaustion is increasing. Since the extremists tend to work in groups, they are easy to catch. As the evacuation continues, it's getting easier to avoid both groups. Everyone is doing their best in order to improve the situation. The solo journey that you did really helped the heroes and police. UA? The UA barrier is currently activated. This wall is just a taste of what it can actually do. Just hearing about the security system will freak you out. It even connects to Shiketsu. Hi. What? Connects to Shiketsu. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I was making sure I was double checking because I was like, it was like UA in the west, Shiketsu in the east, or was it the opposite way around? I forget. But I was making sure that it was that school because I was thinking of I think it's Ketsubutsu. Okay, or no, that might even be a character thing. But the Miss Jokes school, I was thinking maybe that. I want to meet Class A's expectations, but also people are pointing this out because there's the theory that I'm still a believer that it's Nezu's the traitor, but people were pointing out that like we have yet to see, yeah, like Aoyama's usually breaking the fourth wall and shit, but we have not seen his face like at all, like clearly, in these chapters. Going back is not an option for me. 13 looks up. It's noisy inside. Oh shit. Don't let that boy inside UA. Yo, did someone just snitch on Deku? Hold up. The rumor about a boy that Shigaraki is after. It's him, isn't it? Ooh, fuck. Hey, calm down, please. The principal explained it all to us. Our safety was guaranteed. Do you understand what that means or not? Hold on, wait, let me just finish this. We left our houses because he guaranteed our safety, so why the hell would you put a ticking time bomb in here with us? The principal explained it all to us. So maybe because also this is the scans, it's not the official. Are they saying the principal is the one that let them know, like, hey, I don't know if this is the real translation. That's kind of and if Nezu really did like tell them that there was a boy that Shigaraki's after, that traitor theory is looking a little more possible. It doesn't have to be UA. If you're gonna hide him, do it somewhere else. Ochako grabs his hand. Don't worry about it. Ido-kun, everyone, and Bakuku-kun made this all possible. We won't let go of you anymore. We can't. Who will save heroes when they're the ones in trouble? Yes, Uraraka. Dude, connected feelings and okay, yes. I'm loving this. But the Nezu stuff, if that hold on, let me just double. Said the rumor about the boy at Shigaraki's after, it's him, isn't it? The principal explained it all to us. Our safety was I gotta hold on, let me see, because I think on this site I'm using there's like two versions of the translation. There's like one that's like a more slightly refined version that's like a guy that kind of takes a little bit of liberties, I think. And I know that doesn't mean, I think it's like, let me see. I gotta see what the official, because like I looked at another translation of it really briefly, and it looked like it didn't, like that translation didn't imply that the principal told them that Deku, like it wasn't implied like, oh, he told us about Deku. It was more so, oh, the principal guaranteed our safety, not necessarily anything to do with Deku. So we'll see. But all like this is like peak character stuff in My Hero, dude. Bakugo's fucking redemption, like Uraraka like resolved to save the hero, like everything's coming together so like that's what like that's like the reason I love My Hero, is like it got to like a certain point in the series where like I could like almost see where everything was going, like in a general sense, not like, oh, there was no surprises left, but it was like it just got to a point where like I'm like where all this is leading, and like all the character payoff and stuff, and it was crazy because it's like there's been so many long running series where like I've read it and like it gets to a point where it feels like a lot of this stuff that seems like it's going somewhere doesn't really go anywhere, or we just keep throwing on random stuff that doesn't add on to what was built before it, you know. So when I started seeing like how Horikoshi pays off a lot of these moments, especially with like the character moments, like every little thing matters, like little things that like you would think they're like totally irrelevant or like small stuff, it just ends up being such like huge character moments. And like I like that's one thing, like a thing is with me with like My Hero's kind of like my current obsession. And one thing that I've noticed with like a lot of shows that I get like series or things that I get obsessed with, a lot of like series that I like that I get really attached to, a lot of it has to do with characters. Like I get so attached to these characters that it's just like, anything they do, like, I just love. Like, I could watch them do whatever and it's just fine. And the way that Horikoshi builds up the characters and pays off so many storylines. Like, I could, like, the fact that we actually got Bakugo apologizing, like, we've been waiting for this moment for so long. And to see it paid off here, it was really nice. And like I said at the beginning, I was kind of already expecting this because of the panel that I saw. But when I read like the words, like, it's hit me in my heart still. And that's just like, that's so amazing, because like, like, us fans, like, we know a lot of this stuff is coming. Like, for instance, the Dabi thing, that was like one of the most obvious things, but when it happened, it still delivered, even though we all expected it. And that's the thing I love about My Hero, is that like for the fan, like us, like, I'm not saying My Hero's perfect, but like for us fans that are like invested in it and like really understand the story and pay attention to what's being said and what's going on and put together the pieces, we like pretty much know how certain things are going to play out. Like, we don't know obviously the exacts, but we have a general idea of what's going to happen in the series. And even like the really expected moments happen, even though we're knowing they're gonna happen and expecting them to happen, Horikoshi still has a way for it to just like pay off and like hit us in the gut, and I love it. And I don't know, bro. Like, right now, like, My Hero, like, for a few years now, My Hero has been like my favorite series, like, of all time. Like of all time. Like, it sounds stupid because it's not over yet, and there's plenty of ways it could go on. But it's like the further and further we're going towards the end of the series, it's just like the more and more invested I am as a reader, And I don't know. It's just because there's been there's been a lot of series where, like, as if the longer and longer it goes on, it's like there'll be times where like certain arcs or certain things will happen and my interest goes up again. But a lot of the time, like, the longer and longer something goes on, my interest seems to like die down like further and further, and then it almost gets to a point where it's not that I'm not enjoying the series, but it's almost like I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, that was cool, or like, nothing pure. But like My Hero, it's like consistently like I'm just like more and more like, even when I like so for anyone that doesn't know, I've been reading the series pretty much since it first came out. When I first started reading the series, there had only been 7 or 8 chapters. Basically, the chapter that ends with the start of the mock training battle with the fake bomb, where Deku uses the tape and throws Bakugo over his head and says, my Deku will be the Deku that can do anything, of that stuff. That was that was as far as the manga was when I first started reading. And like, honestly, like, on and on and on again, like, I've never lost interest. It's almost like my interest gained more. Even like stuff with like the joint training arc. Even in the anime now, a lot of people don't feel like it added much, but like, even when I was reading it, like, I was like super excited during joint training. And it's because, like I said, characters. I love characters. I love the characters and how Horikoshi handles them and builds them up and all this stuff. And, bro, ever since MVA, it's just been skyrocketing, bro. Like, it was weird because, like, even the war arc ended, and it wasn't like we had a few chapters of like wind down, but it wasn't like we immediately went into like rest. It's like we just went back into the solo Deku arc, and now who knows where we're gonna go from here. I'm interested to see, because I think I talked about this last week, but essentially, depending on how this next chapter or two goes, this is probably where season 6 is going to end. Because if you do the math, it looks like we're going to adapt up to 257 of the manga in this season of the anime, based on the opening. And if we start next season with 258, essentially, if we end it in like the next chapter or two, we're on pace to do the same amount of chapters that season 4 and season 4 did 64 chapters. This season, I think if they go to 257, is 67 chapters. Right now, we're sitting at like 64, 65 chapters from 258 to now. So, there's very good potential that, like, whatever like as long unless something like super crazy happens where the arc kind of doesn't end and it just kind of continues, I could see this being where the season ends. I don't know if it ends like with this exact chapter because it's still kind of left up in the air like a little bit. Like we're not exactly sure what's gonna happen next, and that would kind of be like an awkward place to end the season a little bit. So we have to see what happens in the next chapter or two. I am very intrigued to see what happens next chapter because this is one of those moments where I'm not exactly sure where the story's gonna go from this point. Because I'm not sure if the students are gonna try to fight for Deku to stay in UA or if they're gonna just take Deku and go somewhere else. Um, so I'm very intrigued to see. Also, if they do plan on leaving somewhere else, I better see Deku's mom show up at some point, like right now, because they're at the school. I don't even know if Deku realizes that his mom is there. Well, he probably does, but still, like, dude, I want him to see his mom so bad. Um, but anyways, this was an amazing chapter. I kind of rambled on about why I love My Hero, but it's just like this is one of the things like reminding me, like it's hitting me right now, like, damn, like I love this. I love this series so much. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys thought of the chapter, and see you guys next week.